Hey guys, welcome to Journey to Joy. Today I'm gonna give y'all a little inside secret about.
Hey! Did you just go live without me?
No.
PsyKID is being so silly. Welcome back to Journey to Joy Live.
Yes.
Did you already say that?
No.
I think we are week 7 of Journey to Joy Live. We've been going live. Well, I've been going live, and you've been going. I've been going live for about 4 weeks, and then you've been going live for about 3 weeks. It's the 3rd week.
Yeah.
Nice. So what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, PsyKID?
We've been talking about bullying and stress coming back to school.
Yes, we have. Do you want to recap what we talked about? Just a real quick summary?
Well, yeah, sure. So, what we talked about the first week, which was stress, it was about like adjusting to new rules and new like settings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
New schools, new teacher, new rules,
Yes.
new grade, new friends, a lot of different adjustments.
Yeah. And for the second week, I was talking about bullying.
Mm-hmm.
So bullying, what I talked about last week was that bullying takes a big part of people's lives, like how they feel, part of them, and it mentally destroys them.
Mm-hmm. What was the main takeaway as far as how to combat bullying?
Choosing your friends wisely.
Choosing friends wisely, right? Not being around friends that are gonna bully you, but also like choosing how you speak to yourself.
Yes.
Right? And speaking positively to yourself. Because if you build yourself up, you won't open that opportunity to be broken down by other people.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's interesting. We both were at church. He was at the teenage church and I was in the main service. And we both were getting a lesson about how being offended is a choice. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. Or being embarrassed is a choice. That's well, that kind of goes along with what we were talking about with bullying.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually choose not to be offended? You think that's true?
Yes, in some scenarios.
In some scenario, what's a scenario where it's true that you could choose?
Well, when somebody, it's just like the way that person reacts or feels. Like.
So you can make a choice as to how you react.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And even if someone calls you a name, it doesn't mean you have to react to that name. Because, you know, whatever your name is what they should be calling you. So if they're calling you, hey, nerd, or hey, whatever the word is, you know, you don't react to that because that's not who you are. Yeah. And I had a scenario recently with your dad where I wanted him to give me a compliment and he was thinking something else. So he didn't give me what I thought he should have given me. And I could see the fork in the road where I could have decided not to be offended and where I could have decided to be offended. And I chose to be offended. And it was just a big ordeal for no reason. Yeah, you weren't there. But anyway. So there are scenarios, and I think lots of scenarios where we can choose whether we're going to be offended or not. But anyhow, so that was bullying. Now we're going to talk about peer pressure, yes, which kind of goes along harmful to yourself or something that you know it's against your parents or what they wish to do. Sorry, we're kind of having some connecting issues that showed up. Anyway, if you think it's against their wishes and you shouldn't do it, that's a peer pressure too. Do you have any times where you've been peer pressured?
No.
Not that you can think of? I thought there was a scenario that we had talked about. We weren't sure if there was a peer pressure scenario.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, what's the example that you have?
Well, it was when like
a friend
wanted me to download YouTube. Well, not download. I already had it, but make a YouTube account.
That's true. Everybody has YouTube. So they wanted you to make a YouTube account. And then what happened?
I was second guessing myself, but then at the same time, I thought it wasn't gonna be bad because it would just encourage me to be confident in myself to just do something creative.
Yeah, so we weren't really sure if that was peer pressure, but at least it was definitely something he didn't really want to do, create an account. So, but what did you do? Did you succumb to the peer pressure? Yes, you did. Did you feel like if you told that friend no, did you feel like something would happen?
No.
So why'd you do it anyway?
Because I felt like she was trying to encourage me at the same time to do it.
So you felt like it was something you needed to do. She convinced you that you should do it, even though you didn't ask your parents. Mm-hmm. So anyway, a lot of us succumb to peer pressure because we want to be liked. We want to please others. We feel like they're going to tease us or think negatively about us if we say no, think we're weird, think we're strange, and then we feel like we don't belong. There's all kinds of reasons why we succumb to peer pressure.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a scenario when I was in college. I don't know if I told you this before, but it's just like the most weirdest thing because we were in college and we're adults. And I was at a party. And I didn't even realize, like, everybody in that group were smoking. I didn't even realize that. That's how much I don't pay attention because I'm doing me. I'm worried about what I'm doing. So we were standing in a circle and everybody were smoking. And they said, well, don't you want a cigarette? I was like, no. And they were like, don't you feel left out? I was like, not at all. Again, I didn't even realize I was the only one not smoking, right? It pays to be oblivious. But yeah, I was just like, no, I don't feel left out. And then that was it, right? Just left it at that. You got to have a confident response.
A stopping point.
A stopping point. Very good. Mm-hmm. And a confident response, because then that can be the stopping point. Exactly. Yeah. So being prepared for certain peer pressure scenarios can help too. Like if you can think, well, what are some possible things that someone can try to force me to do? What will I say? So that's helpful, being prepared. You mentioned earlier choosing your friends wisely. How do you choose your friends wisely? What does that mean?
By
Well, you want to be able to trust them. This is a good question.
Yeah.
You want to be able to trust them.
To make sure that they're loyal to you.
That they're loyal to you.
Respect your wishes.
Respect your wishes. Those are good friends. People who are loyal, that you can trust, and respect your wishes.
That won't judge you. Even what you like wear, dress.
Yeah, friends that don't judge you. I mean, you don't know right away, right? You can't just know like, oh, that person over there. Well, sometimes you know, but what if you don't know and you decide you be their friend, but then you realize what qualities you want in a friend, and when they're not that way, then you decide, I'm not going to be their friend anymore, and that's okay. You just choose another friend. Yeah. So having boundaries of what you want and what you're willing to deal with and what you're going to say, and knowing what scenario you're going to say yes or no to. And if you aren't sure, ask your parent. Or ask the teacher if it's something dealing with school. So being able to say no. Should you say yes all the time? Wouldn't you?
No.
Well, but you'll be a nice person if you say yes all the time.
Well, no. If that person's being mean to you or something, you could say no. Like if you don't get any good vibes from them.
Good vibes. Your spidey senses going off, and you're just like, ah! Speaking of spidey senses, you watched that Spider-Man movie, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, because I didn't watch it.
You hadn't watched it yet, so now you watched it. So, yeah, if you don't get good vibes from people, then, you know, they're not the right person to hang around. And if your friends are doing things that you feel like you wouldn't do, even though they're not pressuring you to do it, probably shouldn't hang around friends that are doing those things, because eventually you might end up doing them because you're around them so much.
Yes.
Yeah. So, did we talk about the exit strategy? You did say that. So when you confidently say no, you can kind of get out of there and end that dialogue of peer pressure if it's starting to feel comfortable. So it's okay to just walk away from that situation. What else about peer pressure? Should we use humor?
Yes.
What would that look like?
Like ha ha ha. You could just say something funny or clever to just slowly just walk out of the situation.
Exactly, especially if they're really trying to like get you to do something. And there's definitely various like different peer pressure levels. There's the hey, you should create a YouTube account, which is, it can be dangerous, but it's not the most dangerous. Or hey, stop doing your homework and play this video game with me, versus have a cigarette or come smoke with me or use this drug or something. And you're in middle school. We got to talk about drugs. Remember you were saying, should we even talk about that? It's real. It's happening. And just to talk about, like, if someone brings a snack to school, are you supposed to eat it?
No.
Why not?
Because it can have dangerous, like, drugs in them.
Exactly. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, not eating somebody else's stuff. So, but peer pressure is definitely something everybody deals with. And it's good to have your own sense of confidence in being able to say no and having that boundary. So educating yourself, what is peer pressure? What are the different things that can come at me, and being prepared for that? What's that mean? You said
cope, like coping means like the way to go through with the process, or trying to slowly move in, or to
how to deal with it.
Yeah.
How to deal with it, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So would you deal with the peer pressure? I know you haven't been peer pressured. Oh my goodness. But how would you deal with it if somebody was trying to pressure you to doing something that you don't want to do? How would you deal with it?
I would just tell him no, I don't feel safe doing that, because I know I would get in trouble or something, especially if they did it in school.
But why don't you feel safe? What do you mean? It's good for you. Do it anyway.
No.
I won't tell anybody.
No, it's not a good thing anyway.
Why not? Oh, so you trying to say I'm not good?
No, I'm just saying that it might not be healthy for me.
Oh, so I'm not healthy?
I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying it's a bad thing to do.
Oh, okay. So I just choose bad. I'm just bad.
No, I'm not saying that either.
So what are you saying? Friend, you're my friend, right?
No, bye.
That's good. Like, clearly, no, bye. That's great. I mean, in a real life situation, you really do have to be confident to be able to say those things. Yeah. Anything else on peer pressure? I feel like I'm talking a lot. Any scenarios that you can think of? Nothing. We talked about setting boundaries, using humor, thinking ahead, being prepared for the scenario. Yeah. Okay. So peer pressure.
Wait.
Oh.
You can also talk, to people, like counseling. I know we talked about that tied in with bullying.
Talk to the counselor. Yeah,
Yes.
Always utilize your school counselor. Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, just trust your gut. If your gut is telling you no, don't do that thing, don't do it. And if your friend is not a good enough friend to understand your feelings, your values, your beliefs, and what you want to do, they aren't your friend. So you deserve a better friend than that. So there's different kinds of pressures. We talk about peer pressure. There's the pressure of school in general. Yeah, we talked about school anxiety, but we didn't really delve into like the pressures of school getting to us. Do people want to get Fs?
No.
What do you want to get?
A's, and they stress about that.
They stress about that. A lot of people stress about being perfect too. Do you stress about that?
No, not being perfect. Because nobody can be perfect.
Nobody?
Nobody.
Not even Beyonce?
No.
Because I went to her concert the other day. She looked pretty perfect. Are you sure?
Yes.
Nobody is perfect.
They're on their website.
Not even oh, right. Beyonce.com. We made the website. You're so silly. I didn't say it. You said it. But, yeah, nobody's perfect. And to try to aim for something that you can't possibly get to will cause so much stress. So think about your own mental health and wellness when you're just like, I gotta get all A's. I can never, ever fail anything. No B. Because a lot of people put so much pressure on themselves to get 0 B's, 0 C's, none of those, nothing less than an A, that they're losing their hair, they're stressed out, they get so much anxiety, they're not sleeping, they're not eating, and they're just focused on that. And at the end of the day, that's not a good life.
Yes, I agree.
That's all you got to say about that.
And it's really tough sometimes to like overcome that because they always get like influence from their family or their parents. Really, not saying that.
No, say it.
When they try to just say like, "Why did you get a B? Why did you get a C?"
Yeah.
And it just makes them feel more pressure to push themselves more than they are capable of.
Wow, that's so real. Push them more than what they're capable of. And so some parents, they just push them to get 100%, 110%. Like what? Who can get that?
There's only 100.
100%.
Mr.
And they don't even realize they're not even capable of getting higher, or maybe they have a learning disability or learning disorder or ADHD. Oh, maybe I can talk about ADHD next week. I needed a topic for next week. ADHD sounds like a good school topic. But anyhow, maybe they just really aren't capable because they need the extra help, the extra counseling, the extra tutoring, the psychiatrist. Sometimes people who have really bad ADHD or severe, I shouldn't say really bad, they need to be on a medication for it. Some just need special accommodations. So to the parents, don't put so much pressure on your kids. Chill out. It's okay if they get a B. If they get that 1 C, that is okay. Because guess what? They aren't perfect. And don't be so hard on yourself. You're not hard on yourself. So that's really good. And I know in medical school, I wanted to get all A's and get honors. And when I didn't get that honor rotation, I was just like, okay, whatever, you know. But people literally kill themselves over it. And I don't even mean to use the wrong words. Those are the right words. People have committed suicide over trying to be perfect. And when they can't do it, that's what happens. And that's a plug for the month of September. September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. I know you won't be on that show, but I'm going to be talking about that. It's more serious, but it's definitely something that exists. And as you see, I tell my kid about a lot of different things. He's interned in middle school, so we got to talk about these subjects. It's very important. So that's probably another parent question is, when do I talk about drugs and sex and suicide and mental health with my kids? I think middle school is a good time to talk about it. Anything else with that? We were talking about the pressures of school.
No, I don't have any.
You don't have any? No. You got hair in your eye again?
No.
He had hair in his eye last week. So anyway, seeking support from teachers, tutoring. Sometimes kids or students might need extra accommodations. We call that a 504 plan. I know you don't know what that is, but that's a simple form that can be filled out by a doctor, a pediatrician, a psychiatrist that can say, hey, they need to sit up at the front of the class, or they need extra time on their test, or they need some breaks in between because they're getting a little anxious, or more, I think I said more time on test already, or extended deadlines. So special accommodations. And if it's more severe where they need an individualized education plan, that's an IEP. That is also something that the school, you can ask the school to do an educational evaluation to see if they're in need of an individual education plan, an IEP. So that's something that you as a parent can request. I know I'm going over your head on stuff. You never heard about that kind of stuff.
I really haven't.
Okay, so we talked about peer pressure. We talked about pressure from school. It's 20 minutes done gone by. I think we're good. We don't need to go any longer. So it's your last week on Journey to Joy Live. PsyKID's got a couple of videos on there. It's the videos that we've done. So go check him out on at PsyKID Life on YouTube. But he's gonna do more videos, I imagine. You just post whatever you want. You have my permission as long as you have your phone. He don't have his phone during the week, not because he's in trouble, but because he just focus. All right. And you can follow me on YouTube at Dr. Enjoy Life MD. I'm also on Instagram, dr.njoy.life. And then you see me on Facebook as Enjoy Live. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.
1 second. So, I will be posting on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Ooh.
So, stay tuned for that on Friday, which is tomorrow, actually. But
all right. Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.